Welcome to the Strong Casuals. My name is Ben. This is Anthony, and the Chord King, Eric, is with us.
What's up?
We are, we already talked about the last Strongman event.
Yeah.
You guys got that podcast. It was a doozy.
I mean, there's literally been one strongman event in the last month, which is, I mean, this is the end of the season, so it's it makes sense.
Yeah, and we sort of felt like we would be saying similar things again.
Yeah.
And so this works out okay.
It does.
Today we're going to talk about East vs. West 15.
Yeah, that happened. What was the date of that? They have the date on there.
November 2nd.
Oh, okay. And yeah, we're on the 6th. So this is a pretty recent thing, thankfully.
Hey, we're getting closer and closer every time.
We're on time, at least.
We have been gone for a while, but, we've had life things. But we're back. We'll always come back.
Yeah, dude. You got to make comebacks, bro. That's called, you build a legacy with a comeback.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like some of these arm wrestlers. Like some of them had a career, some stuff happened.
Right.
And now they're making comebacks.
Trying to make a comeback. Yeah, dude. This East vs. West was stacked. You watched some highlights. I was able to watch the thing. It did go, I don't know, it went long, but it didn't go that long. Like I said, this was filled, every match was a 6-rounder, it felt like, and it still went quick because these were not fouls. It was just everybody was back and forth. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Super stacked card. This comeback, Irina Gladkaya was the first arm wrestling woman I'd ever seen on anything because she was on YouTube. She'd be that lady with the swimsuit, and she'd be at the beach, and she's arm wrestle this lady.
People
yeah. Who was doing it? Top Roll TV was doing it, and they put her on there. They had 6 or 7 of these videos, and she's just smashing every guy at the beach. You're like, this is content.
This is what we live for.
This is content. Watching men's dreams
Women
just get shattered. They just come up just
That's important. That must break you.
Yeah, it was American beaches, but that's the weird. It seemed like American beaches. Most of these people were American. Must have been.
I'm sure it was.
Who's Top Roll's schoolboy's brother, right? Top Roll TV is.
It's them. It's them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
But Irina Gladkaya, I knew her, and I didn't know this really. Brigitte lady. Brigitte smashed Irina Gladkaya. Gladkaya was trying to make a comeback. She'd been out for a little while, and Brigitte acted like she wasn't even there. It was kind of insane. I
watched some highlights of that.
Did you?
It was nice to watch it back and forth. I mean, it was I think from what I've saw this entire event, it was nice to just have matches go. I know, you mentioned, it went long. That was the comment of a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't end until 3 a.m. or something, or 2
on their time.
Yeah.
What time would they typically start at? 7 o'clock, an event probably.
Yeah. So it ended at 1 a.m. or something, but
yeah.
And then all of the not nonsense, all of the chaos that ensued.
Yeah.
Probably made it longer.
But I mean, this first Irina, it did go back and forth. It was Brigitte, then Irina. Brigitte, Irina, 5th round Brigitte took it. It was just every match was like this. Second match, same exact type of thing. Unislav ended up winning. This was one of the... And after this, there was actually just some wipes. Just some clear 3-0s by Chikadze won that one. Artur Makarov. Yeah, Carolina Pettersson, one of the other ladies who was in the last East vs. West, came in to the championship match, and Dimitrina just kind of steamrolled her. Yeah,
I heard that. I saw something. It looked like there was this I don't know, 15-second moment in the first match where it was oh no, and then
Caroline, she was so exhausted after the first round. She was lying on the table for 5 seconds. You're like, oh man, this is not going to be good. But yeah, smashing in that championship match. And then our boy Todd Hutchings pulled another comeback guy, Yoshi Kanai from Japan. He's been pulling for a long time. I wish I had some details on Yoshi, because he's.
The Todd that I did. I watched some
just
highlights
pull him
of
up,
that
Eric,
too.
if you
It was
could on Google or something.
Yeah,
this guy. There he is. Yoshinobu Kanai,
the Warlord.
Yeah, he's 48. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. He's been doing it forever. And obviously Todd is an even more tenured guy, but Yoshi's just been out for a little while and came in.
I guess Todd hasn't been out.
No, yeah, Todd's been pulling every single year in these big events. Yeah, look at all his match results on the actual. He's been in every East vs. West.
He's a mechanical engineer. I didn't know that.
Dude, you can tell
He's
those forearms.
He's a mechanical.
Yeah, yeah, dude. He knows mechanics, bro. Now, look, he's been in every single East vs. West.
Yeah.
Every single one. No, he's missed like 2, maybe. Yeah. I mean, Todd's the man. But Yoshi came in and the first round pins Todd. Actually, no, I think that was an elbow foul violation point. So Todd had 2 like elbow fouls. Yoshi got that point. Todd pulled him. Third round, Yoshi actually finished Todd Hutchings. And Todd Hutchings, coming into this match, not really knowing Yoshi, I would have never thought that he'd be able to pin Todd the way Todd's been pulling.
Yeah, no, I mean, the guy, I mean, he's a beast.
He is.
I mean, with the amount of blood that dude pumps through his head.
You can see
I just
it.
don't, I mean,
you can totally see it.
Sometimes I worry about him, you know, like mid-match, he'll just be like drenched and there's that one fucking tremor.
You don't want,
Like,
you don't want that to just like, can you get some, is it a hernia on your skull?
No, I mean, you could get an aneurysm anywhere.
I guess
right?
that's what it is, right? Yeah.
Throw an embolism through his forehead vein. But like, there are people like that. I mean, I'm not saying that he's unusually vascular, but
he
like,
is unusually vascular.
he is in his head. There are people like that.
The one power vein in the head is like a power move.
It is.
It's a power move to just have a giant bracket. Just
well, isn't that like an anime thing where they show like that?
yeah. It's usually like an X kind of
like
like
a star.
Yeah. There would definitely be those on.
Yes,
When
dude.
we make the East vs. West anime,
yeah,
we're gonna put that on Todd's face.
dude. But Todd is the man,
Yeah,
and
he is.
Yoshi Kanai is gonna be back. I promise you.
I think both of them. Like, I know that Todd won that, and you know, like capital W won it, but
Yeah.
I think both of them should have some will have great matches coming up.
Yeah.
No,
No,
they're both good athletes.
I think Todd's supposed to have the championship coming up, and we'll tell that from a match after this. So Reno Masic ended up beating Sagov in the heavyweight world title at right on the right arm. Mm-hmm. Reno's only 20 years old, so he's the youngest champion at East vs. West right now, which is insanity.
Yeah, he's like, who was saying that? I don't know. Someone was talking about how he's like 15 years younger than like the youngest guy in the thing.
Yeah,
Is like
dude.
like he's like not just young, he's like a baby.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, if you're doing this at that age,
I mean,
you only go up from there.
it's gonna be it's gonna be insane. I don't even know, like, you know, I'm a piece of shit. I don't necessarily know all of Sagov's matches, but I mean, Sagov made it pretty clear in those first 2 rounds, like that he was gonna finish Masic, and then came back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was actually really impressive.
Now that I'm remembering, I watched I watched a highlight of that because it came out of freaking nowhere.
Yeah, Reno got smashed the first 2 rounds and then won the next 3. And then Sagov looked dead and then randomly just flash pinned him on round 6. And you're like, oh, okay, so
He's still
then
here.
it goes into round 7.
Hence why it lasted until 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, but it was, congrats to Rhino, that was insane. Vitali beat Zoranov pretty.
Yeah, I heard that wasn't much to watch.
No, it was just
Just-
Vitali.
just
a
destroyed him.
clinic in the middle of the show. I was like, okay, I like that.
I mean, it's not surprising.
Not at all.
I mean, the dude is a beast.
He's gonna
Why-
he's the closest guy to Levon. So, in
So
my
why
opinion.
haven't we seen,
I don't know.
Vitaly Levon yet?
Because Levon's has this
No,
match,
that's
right? Who's he pulling?
I don't remember.
Jerry.
Cataract?
Yeah.
Dumb.
That's who he's pulling.
I mean, oh, okay.
You piece of Oh, yeah. And then Irakli had his world title match, and the guy he was facing, Tautiev, like injured his wrist. Irakli, he was holding in the first round and got finished by Irakli and jacked up his wrist, and he was screwed the whole. That's why this was a championship match, best of 7, but it only went 3 rounds.
I see.
So they're saying that Irakli and Todd's going to be next up for Irakli's belt, which is a hell of a match.
That would actually that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
excited.
hell of
I
a
would be
match.
excited to watch that.
Speaking of hell of a match, Michael Todd faced Gennady Kavinya.
I mean,
That
from the
was a
highlights
match.
though, was it Michael
Yeah.
or was it simply a vessel?
Yeah. Okay. We don't have to go there, but yes, I know. I know. It was.
I mean, dude, when you have divine power on your side and literally capital H, he reaches through your body
I know.
and pins the other guy for you.
I love Michael to death, but I thought I was at the Super Church that night.
It's like, I know.
It was a lot, and I was like,
is it just me or did like post like post comeback, he's way more Jesus-y.
Anytime,
right? Like, I mean,
anytime somebody comes back from an injury or a loss or something like super, that takes a lot to come back from. They always have to use Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cheat code, I'm going to be honest. It's kind of a cheat code. I don't like it.
Yeah.
All right. It's a cheat code. I don't know what Jesus is doing. Okay. But call it divine intervention.
Sure.
And a lot of them do. I mean, and if you watched the Olympics, I mean, every single person who won a gold medal, it wasn't even them.
No,
I said the real winner of the Olympics was God.
God.
The Holy Trinity.
All of the medals go to God.
Nobody was even, they're only just vessels.
Yeah. It's the medium by which he works.
They were just decanters with, without Jesus, there's no wine in those decanters. Just empty.
It's just water.
Empty glassware running around a track. Michael did a great job.
I know. And that's, I joke, but like I watched a bunch of that because for whatever reason there was more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, the coverage, it hasn't come out yet. The pay-per-view is still available, I think.
Yeah.
But like, he wrestled like hell of a fucking match, man.
Yes.
And it was like he
won the first round, lost the second round, won the third round.
Yeah, and he just fought.
He did. He argued himself out of some fouls and just some pins, and that's what you got to. You just put it out. He put everything into that match, and he did. And
he did.
He did. He did it, Michael. You did it.
And then he goes, gets his interview, and like everything is possible through God. Well.
And he's like, I know what people are saying online.
Yeah.
I know it. It ain't even me. And you're like, what? It ain't even you.
I mean, whatever, dude.
He flash pins Gennady for that fifth round. That was a clutch moment.
Yeah.
2-2, and then going to that fifth round, and
he is looking freaking jacked though. The dude looks like he's got two.
I don't know what Jesus is putting in his shakes, but it's a problem.
Yeah, no,
it's working. Whatever it is.
There is.
He got some Jeebus in him. That's all I got.
His apostles are from GNC, man. Dude.
This guy's drinking frankincense every night or something. I swear to God.
Dude, the wise men have given him gifts. Right? He was born in a manger, yet.
Speaking of Jesus, the only one closest to Jesus in East vs. West is David Samushia, because this guy has 57 defenses, and there's been 15 East vs. Wests. Okay, this guy has defended his belt every time, and he got. I didn't know Mayorov, but he smashed Samushia in that first round. And I was like, okay, what the fuck is that? And then he just was, no. For 4 rounds, he's just, smish. I had to smish. I smish. And you're like, okay, here we are again. So that's what happened there.
That was fun.
My favorite Kusik was in the next match. Heavyweight world title match. Matt Yushchenko was defending his title against Alazan Muratov from Kazakhstan. And the first time I saw this guy pull, I was like, can you pull up the guy down there, Muratov? Can you click on him and then pull up his record if he has one? So yeah, what is that? Show the results. So he beat Matt Yushchenko 4-0. He crushed him for the title. I mean, he crushed him. And so look at his results, though. I knew this. So look, he beat Petrenko at East vs. West 6, 3-0, Oleg. Then beat Cody Merritt 3-0 on left arm. And then beat Prudnik 4-0 on left arm.
That's too
Then
expected.
Beat Gasparini 3-0 on left arm.
That's amazing.
And then beat Matt Yushchenko for the title. Bro, that is the most incredible rap sheet record I've ever seen for an East vs. West. All of those guys are former or current champions. Like, what is going on?
Well, Coach Ray said after the match that he's the best pound for pound. He's the best left-hander alive right now.
He is absolutely my favorite. Like the most. Performance-wise, just the most impressive guy I've seen in the East vs. West right now. He's the MVP of the night by far, and it was insane.
I mean, I don't know the technicalities a lot, but I trust Coach Ray, and he just said that there's just nobody else like him.
It's freaky.
There's no you remember remember there was people who would wrestle. I didn't wrestle, but people would coaches would be yelling moves or whatever.
Yeah,
and then there'd be John.
Yeah.
And
not listening.
He just and he
doesn't know moves.
And he knew the rules.
Yeah.
And so he didn't break the rules,
Right.
but he just did whatever
He has
worked.
flexibility to
Yeah.
himself
I
into
feel
like a
this
match
is-
win.
I feel like this is the kind of the same thing. Like he just nobody does it like he does.
Yeah, technique matters to a certain point, but like this guy, and I'm not saying Muratov has got to be insane. One, he's on the Kazakhstan team. It's insane.
Yeah.
He has obviously everything you need, but
He's
there's
just an
something in him.
animal.
There's something about him.
Yeah, he's different. And I mean, I think I know that would be dumb. Like Muratov Laletin would be a dumb. Because the Letin's just fucking huge.
I know. I wish.
I mean, you don't see like the left arm powerhouses would be nice.
Let me pull up. Yeah, because
I
let me
don't
see.
think-
I want to see Vitali's record on left arm here. You can pull it up too. Yeah, he's because he's. But that's the thing too. You know when somebody's just pulling, Vitali.
Yeah, I'll look.
I got it too. Yeah. Just having, if a guy's only pulling one arm, you know, he's working for one thing. So like Muratov only has left arm matches. Vitali has both. You know, he has.
So I mean, yeah. Well, okay, never mind. That's right arm. I'd like to.
Vitali won 4-2 against Camille on left arm, who I thought is one of the best left-handers in the world as well.
Yeah.
Beat Tobias Sporon. Not enough to like. It would be an incredible match. Let's put it that way. Vitali has insane matches on his right, but I think his left arm matches are. They just put it in there because why the hell not? Vitali is Vitali, and I'll watch that guy do any arm.
Yeah.
I just don't want. You don't want to ruin the mystique sometimes.
That's true.
You know, Muratov is on such an absolute steamroll right now. You don't want to just throw Vitali in there to be like, dude, you don't want to see Vitali get crushed. We're trying to work him up to Levon to like do something.
Yeah, and I don't think he'd get crushed anyway, but
I don't think so either. I think it'd be a hell of a match.
I think Vitali would just be too much of a wall for him. Like he'd try all of his
He'd try all his tricks.
You think so? You think Vitali would beat Muratov?
Yeah, I think so.
On left? He's only fought like one guy. Vitali's had one left-hand match.
Yeah, but I don't know. Okay. Well, maybe I do want to see it. Then.
Yes, I would see it.
Engin?
Muratov is only pulling.
Engin, I'm talking to you right now.
But that's the other thing. It's like
Make it happen, boy.
But Vitali's been working on his right so much, you don't want to give him.
Yeah, no, that's.
You don't want to take him off his path.
That's true. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
We don't take the wind out of his sails.
Yeah, you don't want. I don't want to see Vitali lose because he's doing his thing right now, and like
when he's maybe one of our best chances
Exactly.
to bring.
That's what I'm
bring
saying.
Levon down.
that is what I'm saying. I don't
Okay,
want to.
That's fair.
I really feel Muratov can beat anybody at left hand.
Yeah, right.
100%. I really do. Do you see? You saw the record.
No, I know. I mean, and I mean, Coach Ray said he's the best left out that's alive right now.
Yeah.
So
maybe if Vitali was working on his left like he does his right, it would be one thing, but I don't think he is. I think he's maybe not pumpkin training like, Devin Larratt style. Speaking of
Jesus.
Devin Larratt, main event, Devin Larratt for the light heavyweight world title. That's the thing. He didn't even go down to heavyweight. He's at the light heavyweights right now.
Yeah, 105. I mean, like, I think
So you saw the highlights
from
of
all of the stuff that's come out of this match, I feel like there's like two things to talk about. One is the actual arm wrestling.
Well, no, I
is-
think you're confused actually.
I am.
Yeah. So what happened was Devin during the match was actually fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. Do you know what happened after the match? So
Yeah,
Devin
didn't he-
beat Petrenko 4-0.
Yeah.
But then he what's his nuggets? What's his name? Artem Morozov came up.
Yeah.
And then they strapped up for a left hand. Was it a left-handed match or no? It was the same right arm.
I think it was right.
It's just so they go up there for like a practice match because it's Engin's thing and he can do whatever he wants. Engin's
Because
like,
wasn't Engin reffing?
Engin's like, I'm gonna ref. You're like, all right, Engin, holy heck, do what you got to do.
Holy heck.
They obviously, Devin is pumped as hell from the Petrenko match already, amped to the fucking Gillarinos. Obviously,
He's probably taking some pre-workout.
dude. Obviously, there's smelling salts of some kind going on. You don't see it.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, maybe a little chocolate milk.
Maybe.
But yeah, it was just like they strapped
Pancakes and
up.
syrup.
They could obviously. So then Engin's like riff grip, and you're like, okay, that's fine. Engin's gonna strap them up. They strap up, and I don't know what was going on. There was like Morozov put him down kind of, but it was like, they weren't practicing. There was no real start or anything. And then Devin like pulls his arm back up and like tries to fight it, and then is just like pulling back really hard. I don't know exactly what was going on, but then Devin would not, and so Engen's trying to stop the match, and Devin would not stop the match. He's just pulling back super hard, not stopping the match, and then Engen starts screaming at him in Turkish, like yelling at him.
And he shoves him.
Yeah, and he's trying to physically get Devin off of him, and like it was just like absolute mania. They wouldn't unstrap, and then Michael Todd came up and was like, Devin, chill. Everybody's telling Devin just to relax.
Can we pray together?
Yes, dude.
Let's pray together.
Honestly, I think that was the only thing that was going to stop Devin. He needed a Bible. It was really just possessed, it felt like. It was wild. He seemed possessed. And eventually they unstrapped, and Jesus, it was just a lot.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's like the match, and then there's that.
It's a joke.
I mean, okay, the match, Devin won. I don't think I'm not sure anybody was like when this card was released. I'm not sure anybody was surprised.
If like Devin's pulling the best super heavyweights and heavyweights in the world. If he can get down to light heavyweight, you're like, you think Petrenko's going to stand a chance?
Right. And even though he got down to 105, he's still fucking. I mean, he's elite. I mean, he's a huge dude. Like
dude.
he has to be like less than, I don't know what, 8%,
probably
6% body fat, and that's after he lost all the weight.
He said he lost like 40 pounds in like a month or 2 months or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he lost it so fast.
It was
that it's
insane.
Like, that's unhealthy.
Yeah, 100%
like, it was
unhealthy.
too fast. But even though he lost all that weight, he's still strong as fuck. I mean, there's no like it's. And when you put him, I mean, Oleg is a great puller.
He was an incredible champion at light heavyweight,
and. Like Devin came down, and like I'm not saying
you can't control that either. It's like the guy's gonna come down, and you're just gonna take the match. And Oleg wasn't scared, obviously.
Right. I mean,
I don't know if he thought that was gonna happen though.
I don't know. I mean, I think that he probably. I mean, like this was I was listening to Coach Ray before this, and there's two Coach Ray quotes I think are applicable to the situation. One is, if you give Devin the chance to be Devin, he will be Devin.
Yeah.
And I think that's basically what happened.
100%.
Like Devin is when he is, and he's been this way his entire career.
Yeah.
Like when he's at the table or about to be at the table, he's out of his gourd, man. But that's like that's how he works. Like, and I mean, like the mind games are there. They've always been there. They will always be there. I think he does like seem to teeter on this like between like being the sort of like every man's guy and sort of like trying to build up stuff. And then he does some shit where you're like, okay, man, like
right. It is just one of those things where it's
not
like
wholly benevolent.
Right. And somebody said, one of the Redditors commented on the thing where it's like, sadly, this is exactly what happens to any sport when you have a character like this. If you have somebody like a Conor McGregor or they are going to do their thing.
Right.
And that is why everybody is here. That's why John Doe is here, because they're bringing the strangers into the sport because they're fucking nuts.
Well, and that's why people know Conor McGregor's name who have never seen a single match.
You don't have to watch UFC to know Conor McGregor.
Right,
and it's like, and I think, the sport is still at a small place, but it's like, if you are nearby arm wrestling in the sportosphere, you've heard of Devin Larratt.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's, you don't know what the fuck he does, but you've heard his name, and that's like kind of all you need to do. And sometimes those people, you give them liberties, and they'll take those liberties.
Yeah.
And if you're going to give Devin Larratt a fake fucking match at the end of a contest, and he's amped to the fucking tits, okay?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to pull off. Why? Because it's not fucking... Bart Wood ain't there. Yeah. Like, nobody's there. It's Engen, and this is his organization. And it's like he can pull this, Devin can... sadly right now it's it'd be very interesting to see how Engen, I don't know how he's reacted to any of it or what he said. I'd love to know.
The Enigma?
You don't hear about him because he is the Enigma. But
yeah.
He's just like, Devin can pull the strings with Engen or like do stuff like that because he gives him those liberties already. And it's like, I can fuck with Engen because Engen kind of needs me. I don't think Devin's putting that out there like that, but that's just a hunch as to how he probably is doing his thing.
Well, and I think you could make some people could make the argument that like not only does Engen need him, but like arm wrestling needs him.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Like, I feel like we're kind of on this like precipice with arm wrestling where like we're getting it's like getting enough publicity outside of its very niche realm that it's like now, well, like, so we're pulling in, I mean, clearly Brian Shaw and Eddie are kind of like the poster children of social media strength sports.
Right.
Like they are social media strength sports.
Right.
And so like getting them to shine a spotlight on this is cool, but it's also like, if they shine the spotlight, like if you shine the spotlight on something and that thing is pretty boring, like unless you're already invested, no one's gonna give a fuck. Like it's sort of like the light's on, like the spotlight is on, so like this needs to be interesting.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that reality is that like the stuff, the antics that Devin pushes that's interesting.
Yes. Well, and that's all you're trying to do. Like I said, it's the exact same way that Conor McGregor blew the UFC into the stratosphere.
It is. That's a perfect
It's exactly
reference.
the same way. You tell a friend who doesn't watch MMA, hey, there's this Irish guy who's knocking motherfuckers dead and then talking mad shit afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I got to check that out.
Right.
Well, I got to check that out.
Well, and
it's like, okay, there's this guy, Devin Laird. I know you don't really give a fuck about arm wrestling, but everybody kind of likes to watch it sometimes. You're like, there's this guy who's an absolute crazy man, and he's smashing motherfuckers and screaming in their face while he's doing it.
Right. Or whispering creepy stuff.
Right. Or trying to talk in their language, like very few words, just like trying to get in their ear, and they're just like very obviously just crazy annoyed, and they can't beat him at the same time.
Did you watch the press conference?
No, I didn't. How was that?
So two funny things. One, Dennis bought him a little baby's squeak like hammer. So you know the whole.
I saw that.
We don't need
the legacy hammer.
We're not going to dive into the hammer thing because honestly, I'm just going to say the hammer thing happened when we weren't we were focused on strongman. We're not gonna whatever.
Yeah.
But Dennis bought him this little like hammer that's the way you like hit it and it squeaks.
Yeah, like a carnival hammer.
Yeah. And so he like, we bought you something, and he like walks over the little hammer.
Dennis attempting to make a joke.
Yeah, pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Incredible. Doesn't even have to land. Doesn't even matter.
No.
You would never expect anything like that from Dennis.
He just smiles and knows that he's not going to know a thing that comes out of Dennis's mouth.
Yes.
And then I can't think of the guy, but there's this guy that like Devin was clearly not happy.
Really?
About this.
He didn't react well. That's so funny.
So Devin made some comment or like whatever, and he like grabs Dennis and he like puts him, he like pulls him in, and he does a little bit of like hand control with him, and then cracks Dennis's wrist, like not like break it, just like cracked it, and he's like, whoa, and he let go right away, and he was like, Dennis, you got to be healthy, and then you think it's like, and then you think like, oh, this little fun antic thing is done, and then some dude from on the east side, I don't even know this dude's name. I think he's an addition, some like strength guy that got thrown into this. I can't think of his name right now, but he basically tries to like give Devin some of his own shit. Like but it doesn't make sense in English really.
Oh, that's hilarious. Like a broken English version of some shit talk.
Yeah, and then Devin's like, I'll pull you. He's like, I'll pull you tomorrow night. He's like, I'll pull both of you tomorrow night. I'll break both your arms tomorrow night. He's like, you get a 2-for-1 deal. You both have broken arms. Go to the hospital. He's like Turkey. And then he always does the thing where he like tries to use his terrible grammar because he doesn't know the language. He goes, Turkey, great medicine. And then like, that's the end of it. But I don't know. It's like, I think it's going to be with us for a long time where there's this constant like back and forth between like chaotic antics that get people to look and like also the sport. And we've talked about this countless times. Yeah. Where it's like there is a part of this sport that is invested in the show. Yeah. And I think the same could be said about like UFC. Like I mean it's a production, it's like a thing. Yeah. And so to a point we kind of have to accept that that's going to be a part of the sport.
Right. But that's the thing too. It's like Devin luckily is at a place where it's like, so like Connor, but his legacy is like, okay, so then he had a couple of losses and then he was like out and then he does crazy stuff. He'll get in accidents and do cocaine and take these crazy videos. And you're like, well, geez, I hope Devin you don't want to really lose that whole thing that brought you to the ball is lose. Because then your mystique slowly gets chipped away.
Yeah.
You can't continuously hammer in this because then it's just projection and fake, and then you're just like, oh well, you're not as dominant as you were anymore. We've seen losses. You're
well, I think like losing to Levon was a big thing.
Yes, and I think it was for him too. Probably more so than it affected. It affected him more than anything.
Yeah, I think to a lot of us, it was like, holy shit, Devin got beat, and for him, I think it was probably a big deal. I mean, I don't like. I'm not even going to attempt to say that I understand what's going on in Devin Laird's head.
No,
but like I do like. He is very smart.
He is.
And I think he also knows, like, he knows the human psyche better than most people give him, like, because he's great at mind games.
Yeah.
Because he knows how people think.
His mind is strong. Super strong.
His mind is strong.
Mind strong. Mind strong, special forces. Mind strong, ketamine. Mind strong.
Whoop. Like, and I think he knows what he's doing. I just think he's there. My guess is, some of this is coming from, well, the amount of time I'm in the light is sort of going up and down. And like, it is a way to sort of guarantee that people are looking at you.
Yeah. I just think at this point, just like, when he's still smashing, okay, it's fine right now. He's smashing still. You don't have to do that. You don't have to lose it in front of people. Because you don't want, I don't know if, I think the internet has been more harsh on him than they have in a really long time, just because his antics, this year has been a lot. In 2024, Devin's gone through a lot, and he's been nuts. But his son, also Auden, is coming up and doing great, and Auden's, he takes on some of the characteristics that his dad does. Maybe not nearly as good, not even close to, but it'll slowly get there. You can't... When 19-year-olds or however he is, like, when you try to talk shit, you're like, well, that's nothing, but that's fine.
You poo-poo head?
Yeah, it's like, just put it on the table, Auden. You smash people, okay? You're an incredible arm wrestler, but...
Well, I'd like to see him wrestle somebody that arm wrestles.
Well, eventually, in 14 years, we'll get there, and that's fine. We'll just...
I mean, I'd like to...
Give it to him on a paper plate for the rest of everything right now, but...
Yeah.
Devin is just...
I wouldn't want to be him.
No! No, because then... I don't know.
I mean, whatever, like...
He's still a great arm wrestler, but like, hey, bro, chill. That's all. Hey, bro, chill.
Yeah, and let's get you some matches. Like, let's burn you from the bot. Like, let's start you from where you should be. I think like it's different because a lot of these other guys cut their teeth in bars,
right?
And like when like pre-wall, and it was like. Still a regional shindig, and
well, of course, and
they moved their way up.
He's watching Travis Bagent.
Yeah,
he's seeing what Travis is doing. It's like, oh well, this is actually working. Travis is an incredible arm wrestler, but Travis was that guy in the bar scene, and just even earlier than Devin it seemed, and trash talking worked, and he backed it up at the exact same time.
Yeah. There's nothing better than going back into like the deep dark YouTube archives of finding like shitty.
Grainy videos. Dude, there's so many
bars.
Travis Bagent pulling videos online
I know.
that are just like
and
grainy bar shows.
You're
like, God. Or like international, like, smaller shows that were still grainy. You're just like, this guy he's just been doing it for the longest time. And
but and the thing that Travis and Devin have had in common that Devin is sort of making me worried that he's leaving behind, given the antics on this last one, was like both Devin and Travis, if they get beat on the table, there's no excuses.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
It's like when Devin lost to Levon, it happened.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm injured, or I'm not gonna blame it on the ref or like whatever. They're like, it happened and we're moving on.
When Devin
Travis
lost
the same way.
When Devin lost to Levon, it's like, no, he's the best in the world.
And now we know.
As simple as that. He's too strong. What am I supposed to do? It's like, and that's how it should be. And that's
right.
And once again, it's like Devin keeps pushing the envelope with his antics. That's fine. He's still putting it on the table, and that's what people want to see at the same time. You know, it's going to obviously rub some people the wrong way when he gets a little unhinged, but that's what he has to keep pushing the envelope because you don't want people to just forget that you're Devin Laird.
Yeah, I don't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
it's kind of a character. Coach Ray said something about like there's the character Devin Larratt, and then there's Devin Larratt.
Yeah,
and like you kind of have to understand that he is like when he's in front of a camera or at a table, he's kind of a caricature of himself.
That's what we said at the start of the original shows. It's like it's slowly going to become more of a performance, like a professional wrestling style performance, because that puts butts in the seats and people are there to watch. Yeah. And, it's just when you're the man in the show, people know you for the show. You're going to come out and people are going to remember you. And they know that you're there they're there for him.
Right.
Every time. And he's still he's so goddamn strong. He's just one of the best It's just like Oleg. Like the first round, he's already in Oleg's head. I mean, it's just he like talks to Engen in the front row. Engen, this is the guy. This is your champion, and you're like, oh shit! Did he really No. He just knew there was nothing for Petrenko to do.
He's so good at it.
He's so good.
He's so good at it.
And he just felt him instantly. He's like, no, this is over, and it was fucking over. It was an incredible.
But I feel we all knew that.
We did.
No offense to Oleg, but we kind of.
I mean, he dropped like 60 pounds, okay, to get down to you. He didn't lose any of it in his arms.
No, and he's still got all of the technical, like he has the technical game down.
Right.
So.
But, yeah, that was an incredible card. Speaking of, Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall are going to be polling at the next, is it an East vs. West show, or is it the King of the Table? Let's see. East vs. West 16. Let's see.
I don't know because I don't think it's King of the Table 13 because that's going to be Ketteret Levon.
No, I think that's the card.
They're going to put him on that. Oh, yeah. They are.
Yeah, dude.
Holy balls.
Yeah, dude. This is why we got to get together for this.
Yeah, okay.
This card is insane. What is it? King of the Table what?
13.
13.
That's wild.
Dude, yeah, this
Lachlan
card.
Adair, Andrei Sharkevich. I don't care about Australia. Oh, I mean,
Paul Lynn, baby.
I know, Paul Lynn. Another medium for him to bring power.
Yeah, but no, I just think he really was one of the wise men. I believe.
No, I like Paul Lynn.
Krasimir Kostandov.
He's...
Yeah, dude, Ketteret.
105.
Ketteret versus Levon.
Yeah, I think that'll be wild. I mean, Jerry's just huge.
Dude, he beat Kardashian. He beat Kardashian in August, right? 3-0.
And Kardashian was coming into that match he was in pretty prime shape.
Right. But yeah, it looks like before that, Jerry hadn't pulled since East vs. West 8 where he lost to Hermes.
No, but he used that time.
Right.
Between there, because he's huge.
No, he is way bigger than whatever. I don't know what happened.
And Jerry was big at wall matches.
I know.
In years, many years ago.
He is
5-6 years ago. His wall, he was huge.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
And now he's just someone stuck a pump in him and just.
It was 1 year between each match, and I don't know what. Yeah, he got inflated.
324 pounds. The dude is. He's just huge.
He's so big.
I wish there was a.
Well, you see what Levon looks like on the table. It's like, bro, you're actually not human sized. So Jerry needs to be that big to pull.
Yeah, I wish someone should do I don't have the time for this, but someone should do Jerry throughout the years and just show he always looked big because he's just kind of a stocky dude.
Yeah.
But then, watching pictures of him, recent pictures, the dude is he's inflamed. He's he looks I don't know. He's just he looks like a golem.
Who looks like a golem?
Jerry Ketteret,
He does look like a golem.
He's just solid man.
He's a Gamorrean guard.
He'd be a good Gamorrean guard.
He would be.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. I think Brian and Eddie, well, more so Eddie's kind of known for doing shit like this.
Yeah.
Brian was going to do that UFC fight or whatever.
Or the MMA
and it never
fight.
happened. Or the MMA fight.
Yeah.
Eddie and Hafthor did their boxing thing, and so I think this. I mean, obviously Brian's going to win.
Yeah,
Eddie does not stand a chance.
Eddie, I watched Eddie. He did it. He's training with our man Neil Pickup.
Yep.
Yeah, he's training with Neil. So
I hope he shows up in one of Neil's jackets. Maybe he can
you have to sew
some
3
light.
of them together.
Exactly. Well, maybe he could like reflect some light into Brian's eye or something.
That would be cool. Yeah, no, I just think it's interesting because Eddie's still doing like other content. Brian is like dead serious. So serious about arm wrestling. It really is going to be I feel a presentation of what Brian Shaw is going to bring to arm wrestling, and it's going to be super interesting because if he wins, like definitively, very definitively, and then Levon is, because I'm assuming that's going to be the co-main. I'm assuming that's what you do, and from a marketing standpoint, that's what you do. These guys are the biggest name on the card, Ben. Period.
Yeah, I mean, no, Is this going to be where is this going to be? I don't know.
I think it's
in.
I was
Turkey. I mean, I think the difference is when Eddie boxed Hafthor, I think Eddie really wanted to win.
Right.
I think this match, I know Eddie wants to win.
Yeah.
But I think my guess is Eddie probably understands that Brian is kind of a powerhouse.
Yeah. It's once again, it's almost like a mental thing. 'Cause it's like, I mean, if Eddie was going all out, guns ablazing.
I don't know. Just good thing Mitchell Hooper's not in there. He'd probably win.
He would. That's a fact. That's a fucking fact.
He just.
Also, though, I did watch Mitch on Brian's podcast. They did a 2-hour podcast.
Okay. Thoughts?
And I liked it.
Yeah.
This is with anyone. Of course, it's like narrow-minded of us to think this way, but it is with anyone. You need somebody to open up about themselves in general. You know nothing about Mitch from any of his videos. They're like 13, 15-minute little like blog spiel things.
Yeah, pieced together quite a bit of his history, but yeah.
But that's not even what I'm saying. I mean, just in general, when they open up about the stuff they deal with, whether it's mental health or stuff like that, and he's he still is very matter of fact about, if I'm doing this well, the other competitors need to get better. And I mean, we've also just said that. I mean, that is as matter of fact as it should be at this point. Nobody should be winning that much consistently.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
So the other guy's got to get better, or it's going to look like this all the time.
Yeah, but I think that man, this could be an entirely other entire other podcast. But
you know what's coming up? Rogue Invitational. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped.
Tom is with his new trainer. So Tom, we found out. I don't know if you've watched any of Tom's videos, but Tom had a bulging disc in one of his lower vertebrae down by his tailbone,
lumbar. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's working with this guy who knows exactly what to do to get people back to that. And I think it's the right move. He's left left his trainer, Tom, right? That was his name.
Yeah. Weird hair.
Yeah. So it's going to be very exciting to see what Tom brings to the table come Rogue Invitational. It's also in Scotland. So it's like he didn't do he didn't do his home Glasgow live, Giants live. So he's going to be excited to be back at another show in Scotland. And I mean, Mitchell's going to be Mitchell Hooper every time he shows up to a goddamn event, so it's like, it's just going to be like, Brian was talking about just how his level of recovery is it doesn't really make sense. That Mitch is somehow he doesn't get hurt. And Mitch is the same thing. He's like, I just don't. And he's like, I'm doing the right things and I just don't get injured. And a lot of these guys walk out with injuries because I don't know whether they don't do an event right or they overextend themselves or what have you.
A lot of injury prevention is preemptive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it has so much to do with how well you've taken care of your body before that than it is now. Do you listen to Table Talk, Dave Tate's? So Dave Tate has a pretty cool Elite FTS. He's got a good podcast. I think it's a pretty good podcast, but he was talking to this guy about working out and aging and getting injured and stuff. And they were talking about how a lot of guys just go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And this goes for any strength sport when they're young and they don't sort of they're not taking into consideration like appropriate recovery.
Right.
They're not getting the tendon strength that they need. But for a decent portion of time, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you're young, you're regenerating super fast. You can recover in 2 days. It doesn't matter. And you're just pushing all the shit.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are, you're pushing all the gear.
Yeah.
And your body's like, yeah, I could do this. And then you hit a point where it's like, whoop. Like, I didn't lay down enough foundation. So now I'm just going to start busting tendons left and right. I'm going to bust this. I'm going to bust that because I haven't laid down the framework, sort of.
Right.
And I'm not saying saying that Mitchell's going to hit a situation, like a point where he starts doing all that stuff. But I just don't think, like, if you look at strength sports, specifically strongman, from like a wider perspective, I just don't. I mean, these guys, yeah, they do OSG now, and they can get into some of the big shows, but like, it's not. You can't live on it,
Right.
Like, you can't. It's either you're making nothing,
Yeah.
or, you know, and then if you win something, suddenly you're at the top and you're making a bunch of money. But it's like the income discrepancy between Mitchell and someone like Eddie Williams, who's a great athlete,
Right.
He's good at what he does, and he's got a personality. But like, Eddie's going to these, he's not winning comps, but he's still going to them. But like, Eddie doesn't have the ability to like spend all of his time and a bunch of money on trainers and recovery and all this kind of stuff. And so I just feel like this is coming full circle. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is that I agree that a way to deal with Mitchell winning so much is to like elevate everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to elevate everybody else when the sport itself just can't support those people.
Right.
So you've got, I mean, like, I think that is like a part of it is also that Mitchell's just a fucking genetic beast.
100%.
I mean, the dude deadlifted 405 pounds the first time he touched a bar.
It's insane. Yes, there's something genetically 100% different about that man. There really is. But like you said, yeah, the only way you can sustain a life in strongman just by strongman, is by winning as many events as Mitchell Hooper is.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
And you can win like regional stuff, and you get little teeny tiny payouts.
Yeah.
And if you work enough of them and you're good enough, like maybe you're making money and not losing money.
Right.
But it's not a full-time job.
Right. Well, and the other thing is like, you know, it helps, and that's why you can see the couple of people like Mitch and Tom, though they are incredible strongmen and do their thing, they do have incredibly strong brands. If they were not doing well in strongman, those two could still sustain themselves. That's the other thing, is like, that's probably holding back some of these guys, and that's why everybody still has to do a little bit on the side of something. Like his lift heavy, be kind that Mitchell Hooper puts out it's an incredibly strong brand, and people, you know, flock to it.
See what you did there.
And Stoltman, the Stoltman brothers have an incredibly strong brand. The Stoltman brothers, you know, they're, whether it's merchandise, I mean, all
Stay
of it.
spicy.
Yeah, the spicy brand. They have really strong brands that bring in income to help them with strongman.
Right.
And it's like, they're not only personalities, which once again is its own thing, but if you're in strongman, you're putting your personality out there, period. I mean, unless you're Pablo Cordiaca, which we don't get anything but extreme handsomeness.
But he just shows up and destroy. Like, shows up and just like Conan's wheels the fuck out of
him and
everybody.
Alexi. You don't. They're just Eastern European guys that are the strongest motherfuckers you've ever met.
My brand is my beard.
They don't need to have a brand. Those guys are just going to show up every time, but that's the other thing is about Eastern Europeans. They have zero problem going back to their modest lifestyle, whatever they're doing. Unless you're Big Z and you have a compound. Everybody else.
Yeah, but not no one is Big Z.
No, and that's the other thing. Once again, Big Z would go in that Stoltman Brothers Mitchell Hooper camp where you win enough to create your life. Yeah. You have enough winnings.
I mean, I'm a firm believer, and come at me, 3 people that are listening, but like, Big Z to me is
the greatest of all time.
The epitome of, he is the GOAT.
He's the greatest of all time, I think, too. I think if you just look at his resume and Big Z, the extracurricular things he's done for strongman without, I mean, Brian Shaw and him are, you know, you think of them in the same vein, but Big C's just done it a few more times than Brian has.
I mean, I also have a lot of like weird nostalgia for
Well, that's the other thing.
Like the guys that were like that I was watching when
growing
we were
up,
kids,
when you
like,
you could see the events on TV.
Yeah.
That's
like
what we
watching
saw.
Magnus Ver Magnuson and like all those when they were back in their like prime, and
it's the best.
And it's cool to see that they're still involved and stuff. But I was gonna say something about Mitchell Hooper and bringing everyone else up. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I think that like what I was gonna say is the Rogue Invitational is a funny dichotomy to me because you have like the strongman side where these guys like bust their tail and pay for everything basically themselves. As far as their training and all that stuff goes, and like they've been doing this for years, like an incredible amount of time.
Yeah,
and then you have something like CrossFit, where these people are like they've been doing it for I don't know, a handful of years. They're in their early 20s or their mid 20s or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're like household names.
They're on gear,
and they're yeah. And they're like, but it's like, and like they can make a living just like being a attractive social media person, and it's like,
yeah, because they're selling like straight chemical proteins. They're just like they have like
yeah,
I sell amino acids. That's it. You're like,
just
I'm sponsored. Yeah, I'm sponsored by vitamin B.
I'm sponsored by leucine.
They do say that. I'm sponsored by creatine. No actual brand, just the actual thing.
I'm sponsored by isoleucine. I can go through all the amino acids. No, but like, yeah, it's just it's fun. I don't know. I think it has to do part with like strongmen usually don't care about the limelight, so they're like, whatever, I don't care. I mean,
we've been talking about. Devin, and if you want, sadly, in 2024, if you want things to grow, be a spectacle. You know? And I just hate that. I hate it too, dude. I fucking hate it. It's interesting because I like it. Karen, yeah.
Who just like spent his entire life being the strong French Canadian.
Big Z.
And he just like
just a giant strong man.
And I feel so I mean like he had some moments where he like did some stuff, but he's such a humble, great dude that would just come and like always perform.
Yeah.
And then like nobody knew who he like not nobody, but it's like then he just kind of got like boxed out by all these like other people. But
well, it's like there's no television, there's no like long form anything that you can watch strongman on anymore like that.
Yeah,
at the blink of an eye. We are literally in the time of clips.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks because you don't get any. It's just okay, did a guy, a guy's like it would literally it could be the best it could be the best strongman event ever. If somebody's cock fell out in the middle of a strongman event, that's all you would hear about.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if Big Z or Mitchell Hooper broke a deadlifting world record. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
a real Jackson moment.
It really is. It's like
Janet Jackson.
It's a real Lenny Kravitz situation. His dong fell out too.
Yeah.
It's like if
thanks for explaining it.
Check that out, guys. It's on YouTube. And it's just one of those things. It's like we only care about incredible spectacle. It's not about performance a lot of the time.
I'll agree with that, but I'll also say that like some of it's just like content too. Like
That's what it is,
East vs. West and King of the Table is putting out content every month, basically. And yeah, we get strongman stuff relatively consistently, but like it's like behind a paywall. I guess so is King of the Table, but I don't know. We I think what we can agree on. Or we can say is that with niched, relatively uncommon sports, you need shiny things.
You do.
And sometimes that shiny thing is Devin doing some crazy shit.
Is Devin getting headlocking a guy on the stage?
Yeah, I know. What the...
In the middle of his match. Like round 3.
Yeah.
Best of 5, but hold up. There's another guy I have to go...
Wait a minute. This
guy tackled me.
Right. Maybe Rogue Invitational... I don't know.
I think it's going to be a hell of an event.
I think it is, but maybe we just need someone to put somebody else in a headlock.
We're going streaking. Maybe we just need something like that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I feel like some guys would maybe do that. Maybe not.
Nobody in Europe.
Kordiaka is going to be there.
Is he?
I'm excited about that. Luke and Tom are both there. Matt Ragg is going to be there. Oh, man.
Aberdeen, Scotland.
Yeah, Evans. Trex is going to be there.
Trex.
Man, I want Trex to finish a show.
I know. I know. I don't know what's been going down, but I
want him to. I think he's a strong dude. I think he gets in his head a lot. I know he gets in his head a lot because he talks about it all the time, which is nice because it's nice to know there's other people like that. But
right.
I think like. Okay, I'm gonna make one more comparison, and then we should probably whatever. But like, I feel like Evan Singleton and Michael Todd. Sometimes I feel like in a similar way get in their head.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
And it's when they start doing well, things go well because they get out of their head and they're like, hell yeah, I can do this.
Right.
If things start off not so hot, they get in their head and it's boom. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I hope so. I especially in an event like this.
Yeah,
this is a big event because of the CrossFit folks that it brings to the show. But in my opinion, the strongman and strongwoman stuff is really blowing up this show.
I have a dumb question.
Go for it, dummy.
Is the Rogue CrossFit shit? Are they drug tested?
I have no idea. None of their bodies tell me
that they're being tested.
Yeah, dude, they're all shredded.
I'm looking at some pretty jacked people.
They're shredded to pieces.
The thing is, they'll probably never say.
Eric can look it up.
They'll never say if it is tested.
So they do.
There's no way the strongman one's tested.
It says they use the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, which is pretty much the standard for like every like base thing. It's not super in depth, but
okay. Well, okay, cool. I don't know what
my
they're testing
answer
for,
is hell no.
It does not. I don't. I'm looking at these athletes and I'm not getting natty vibes.
Dude, the strongman and strongwoman
That's okay.
events are presented by Crocs. I bet you they get free strongman Crocs.
Well,
Rogue Invitational
Stolen
Crocs.
Bro's gonna be pumped about that.
Hell yeah, dude.
I love. Okay. Maybe I think we might be devolving here.
No, it's okay. You can real quick and we'll wrap her.
I just really like. We talked about this before. You mentioned this in a different podcast. I love that anytime Tom comes to the United States, he just buys all the stupidest shit that you can buy in the United States.
Yes.
Like the last time that Luke and Tom came, he bought that like huge, like fluffy. Like, snuggie thing.
Yeah, or the comfy
Crocs.
is the giant sweatshirt one. Yeah, dude.
And then there's all of his social media shit is just him in that fucking thing with his Crocs on hanging out.
Dude, well, that's the other thing that if you watch some of his videos, he's changing. He's like, I definitely fill up on junk food a lot of the time. He's like, he's not doing everything that he could be doing. And so I think he's trying to cut candy out of his pre-game diet at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, he's
it'll be exciting to see what Tom brings to the table because Mitch has just been doing Mitch and it's a hell of a truck to stop. So
yeah, well, and Half Thor is going to be there.
Half Thor is going to be. It's going to be a great event. And then what? I forget who got third place last year with Mitch and Tom, but that the giant bald guy. I forget his name. He's one of the Ujanowski or something or other. He's one of the Ujanowskis.
Not Pujanowski.
No. He is. Oh, here's all the peeperinos.
I don't know. It looks like the.
There's got to be more than this, though. Got to be.
So it looks like all the strongman stuff is happening on Sunday. I don't know. All right. Well, that's happening. I think there's 2 days.
I think there's 2 days. There's 2 days of it.
I wonder if there's. I don't know if there's a pay-per-view or not, but I'll try to get. We'll try to watch as much of it as I can.
Yeah, dude.
Because it'll be a hell of an event. I just really hope. I think if anybody's going to push back on Mitch, it's going to be Half Thor. I think Tom's got potential, but with Tom's injury, back shit sucks.
Yeah. No.
And in a competition where your back is loaded, pretty much everything you do.
Yeah.
A little bit worried about that. But I think Half Thor's in good shape. He's been in his gym and I think
Half Thor's been. I think those probably unless Tom's back is visibly bad, I think those are going to be that's going to be podium, but we'll see. That is what are those days again? The 8th.
I mean, there are some powerhouses in here.
No, it's a hell of a stack. That's why I like this event, this whole comp, because there's a lot of dudes.
I hope I haven't I'm way behind here. I haven't even looked at what the events are, but
I haven't either.
If there's a deadlifting anything, this is going to be there's the first event is a deadlift ladder.
Yeah.
I'm between Tristan Hoth, Matt Ragg, Evans. Those are some powerful deadlifters. Okay.
Yeah, literally starts tomorrow. If you guys want to watch Rogue Invitational, 7th through the 8th, I believe. Going to be a hell of an event. We will be back probably next week. And if you want to grab it, rip it and strip it, grab it and talk it.
We're talking.